please welcome our student speaker, Clay Allred.
That was a nicer, more lengthy introduction than I had anticipated. Thank you, Sam. I would like to begin this evening by giving a heartfelt thank you to the Moab USU staff and faculty. They've been so good to me over the last couple of years, last 2.5 years. Sam and Jan and Steve and my major professor, Robin Curtis, have gone out of their way at every opportunity to provide me with the tools that I need to succeed as a student. And graduation is truly a bittersweet thing where we have this wonderful change that comes upon us and we get to move on in life, but sadly move on from something that was truly great. And I believe that we students at the Moab Education Center, USU Moab, are unique. I think that we are a special crew of people. I think that if there was research done, I think results would show that we're a slightly more mature crowd and often working full time with families, and I think that shows an extra amount of dedication and work on our part. And I just wanted to tell you graduates, good job. Good job on your hard work. Congratulations. I thought I might tell you a little bit about my experience with Utah State. The university has definitely, as Steve mentioned earlier in a meeting, that they kind of bent the rules around a little bit and made allowances for me as a student. I was an online master's student in natural resources, and last year when Dr. Robin Curtis was hired as a professor for recreation resource management, I went to her and expressed my interest in doing some original research and looking into maybe some social implications of management practices in the national parks. Whom I work for. I work for the Southeast Utah group of the National Park Service. We were able to transfer all of my credits over to this other program, and she was able to take me on as a research assistant and come up with this original research and perform all this research and everything just kind of just on the go. And Robin, Dr. Kurhorst, really went out of her way to definitely make special allowances for me to become her student and to get my master's in science, and I'm so grateful for that. And it was such a neat experience for me to be able to be a master's student here in Moab and to be able to utilize the amazing resources we have in Moab to perform that research and then glean all the knowledge and everything from campus and the campus library to make my dreams come true, basically, of being able to get my master's. I thought I'd tell you real quick what we found. I'll tell you what we found. So our results showed that Tamarisk control is acceptable. So Tamarisk is a non-native tree in the river corridors. The control methods of this tree are acceptable among river users. And not only did they find Tamarisk control to be acceptable, but they want to see native vegetation start to come back into the park, so more cottonwoods and willows. And I've just told you in about 30 seconds what it took me a year to research and 100 pages to write. So that was the quick and dirty. Today I'd like to focus my thoughts on the topic of change. We are graduating today because at some point in the past we desired change. We wanted to become more. We needed a transformation. And I believe that change is an ever-present principle. There is change in the world all around us. There are many different forms of change. Some are very, very slow. I was thinking about here, land in Moab. For those of you who may not know, this land was all underwater at one point. This would be under the ocean. ocean receded, it became a jungle. I think it was the most lush tropical jungle in the Jurassic period. And then we were under the ocean again. And then pioneers came. And so that's pretty much Moab's history. And this took place over the course of hundreds of millions of years. So there's some change like that that is incredibly slow. Some change is very rapid. Sam mentioned that Leslie and I have a 1.5-year-old son named Owen. And I feel like it was just yesterday that Owen was surviving only off of his mother's milk. And then last week, we went to Paradox Pizza, and Owen ate an entire slice, one of those cheese slices that you buy the slice this big, all by himself. Some changes come unnoticed. One of my best friends and I were talking the other day, and we realized that we're both going to be 30 this year. And I can't believe it. Some of you are saying, that's so young. And other people are saying, oh my gosh, she's so old. But for me, I'm like, when did I grow up? I had no idea. And then there are other changes that are very different. There's another kind of change that occurs very purposefully. And this is the transformation that we've been working for. This type of change in ourselves does not come easily. It requires work to become transformed. Teddy Roosevelt, who is by far my favorite U.S. president, said, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. I believe that one of the most important principles about changing ourselves is that we're continually moving forward. And not just like us who are graduating and not going to school anymore, but we're continually progressing. Even if we are stumbling, we are still moving forward. We, as graduates, probably don't know exactly what our futures hold for us. In fact, most of us most likely do not. Among the college graduates, I once read that most do not work in the field that they study, and they change careers 3 to 4 times. So I guess we all have a little more change ahead of us. I don't believe that this road will be entirely smooth. I believe that our most valuable changes and transformations will come through both hard work and adaptation. I'd like to share a quick story with you about a boy. This boy saw failure and hardship around every corner. I can hardly read this at home without tearing up, so I'm like, stay strong. He did not speak until he was 4, and did not read until he was 7. His teachers and parents labeled him as mentally handicapped and antisocial. Eventually, he was expelled from primary school. Years later, when he tried to test into secondary school, he failed the test and was not admitted. After being accepted and graduating from a less prestigious school, he spent 2 frustrating years looking for his first job, which ended up not being the job he was hoping for. Don't get your hopes down. It gets better. With a love for research, he was later hired into a teaching position, which is what he wanted to do, at Zurich University. However, having been born a Jew in Germany, he fled his homeland in 1933 due to the rise of Adolf Hitler's power. He immigrated to the United States and continued his career in teaching and research at Princeton University. Most of us probably consider Einstein's name to be synonymous with genius, but he did not always show such potential. His focus, persistence, and hard work changed his life from being one with a possibly dismal future to one where he would win the Nobel Prize and change the face of modern physics. We, as graduates, have this type of persistence. We have shown the dedication that is required to succeed. We've worked hard to be here today, and this graduation signifies the fact that we have laid the foundation for ourselves, proving that we can be dedicated and achieve great accomplishments. Our next task will be to take these foundations and apply them in the world.
I am proud to be part